If you've ever found yourself struggling to achieve your goals or break free from bad habits because of procrastination or paralysis, you're not alone. One of the biggest culprits behind this struggle is your brain. Yes, that incredible yet sometimes rebellious organ that's working against you without you even realizing it. So, if you want to uncover why your brain is against you and learn how to take back control of your life, then stay tuned as we're about to dive into why this happens and what you can do to overcome it. Hey there, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Conscious Connection Show, where we believe that becoming the best versions of ourselves is the ultimate gift that we can give to the next generation. I am your host and your friendly neighborhood self-help guru, Helen. I am a mother, special needs educator, psychology student, small business owner, and a writer. I wear a lot of hats, and every one of them helps provide me the knowledge and skills to help me with my mission in life, which is to make the world a better place for the next generation, one healed soul at a time. Now, without further fluff and stuff, let's dive right into the wonderful world of self-development through becoming your ultimate conscious self. Welcome to today's episode where we are exploring the pain in the butt issue that is procrastination. Yes, that thing we all know and love, putting off important tasks at the very last minute, like planning to organise that junk drawer till next weekend, which we obviously push until next year because it's overwhelming, all that clutter, oh my god. Procrastination is like that annoying friend who always promises to help you move house but never shows up when the time comes. But it's super common, especially for people with ADHD, depression, and other brain health struggles. And trust me, we're all in this boat together, paddling backwards, upstream, in rapids, in a leaky boat. But anyway, let's unravel why we're so good at avoiding our goals and, more importantly, how we can finally stop putting things off and actually get stuff done. Spoiler alert, it might involve less Netflix and TikTok and more action and self-love. Alright, let's get into why procrastination happens. It's not just because we're inherently lazy or just have a secret love for binge watching cat videos, although, let's be honest, who doesn't love funny cat videos, right? But actually, procrastination is often linked to how our brains handle discomfort and fear, and science sheds a light on procrastination as a showdown between two brain regions when confronted with an unpleasant task. It's like a mental tug-of-war between the limbic system, the brain's pleasure center that thrives on instant gratification, and the prefrontal cortex, which is our internal planner that's all about long-term goals. When the limbic system pulls ahead, which frequently does, you end up putting off today's tasks for tomorrow. This temporary relief from the discomfort of unpleasant tasks, it can be too tempting to resist. Plus, this is also a valuable insight into why people with ADHD and other brain health struggles are procrastinating champs, because the prefrontal cortex in people with ADHD is like the drunk orchestra, the drunk conductor at an orchestra party, all right? And it's not waving the stick around properly to tell the band what to do. So really, it's not that you're lazy or incapable of keeping on to things. It's just that the brain is primitively wired to protect you from stuff that seems uncomfortable and, well, boring as hell. Imagine your brain is a super paranoid security guard who's convinced that there's a heist going on every time you have to tackle an uncomfortable task. When you're faced with something that feels overwhelming, like starting that pile of washing the local tourists keep showing up to climb because they think it's a mountain, or writing that novel you've been meaning to write, or finally organising that junk drawer that we were talking about, your brain goes into full-on panic mode. It's like your brain's version of a fire drill, complete with flashing lights and alarms. Or let's say you've got like a big presentation coming up. The thought of speaking in front of a crowd triggers your brain's alarm system, making you feel like you're about to face a herd of angry bees or something. So instead of preparing, you find yourself reorganizing the pantry for the third time this week, or doom scrolling on your phone. Why? Because your brain has decided that organizing a controllable space or watching YouTube videos on organization tips is less terrifying than facing an audience. Or consider the classic case of the gym membership. You've been meaning to hit the gym, but every time you think about it, your brain just decides it's the perfect time to really get into gardening. Suddenly you're Googling best types of mulch and planting a vegetable garden in your backyard. The discomfort of exercising just gets sidetracked by the allure of becoming an amateur botanist instead. So, yeah, in these moments, our brain's desire to keep us safe and comfortable kicks in. It's trying to protect us from the stress and the fear associated with starting something new or challenging. So, when faced with the discomfort of beginning a task, our brain's default setting is to seek out something more immediately gratifying and less intimidating. This is why we might find ourselves knee deep in a Netflix marathon or meticulously scrubbing the kitchen floor instead of tackling that overdue report for work or assignment for our study. So not guilty. Anyways, you can rewire your brain to play ball in your favor. You can kick procrastination's unproductive butt and get good with getting shit done. The key is to recognize these avoidance tactics and gently push yourself to start, even if it means turning off that Netflix binge just a bit and embracing the initial discomfort. Remember, the sooner you start, the sooner you get to kick procrastination's butt and feel like a champion. So, how do we do it? Well, I'm so glad you asked because procrastination is something I used to struggle with so much, and although I still do a little bit, it's nowhere near as often or as debilitating. And when I find myself procrastinating, my brain is now wired to recognize this and kick in with my tools to kick my own butt back into action. A little bit like this. Okay, I can't kick my own butt. That cutscene was funnier in my head than what it probably is. But anyways, the first thing you need to do is recognize your patterns. You start by identifying when and why you procrastinate. Are you avoiding a specific task because it feels too difficult or boring? Chances are you're probably already pretty aware of when and why you're procrastinating, but it's stopping it and getting out of the habit that is the struggle. And it's really such an overwhelming and suffocating feeling too, to be stuck in paralysis with your get it done part of the brain in the background screaming at you to just get up and do the thing, and the body control center part of the brain keeping you rooted firmly in place. Like, nah, I don't want to. Now that you know that procrastination is caused by that almighty battle of the brain regions in your head, this makes a lot more sense about why you feel this way. But at the core of things, understanding the triggers of your procrastination, it can help you address them directly, and writing them down as well to start working on specific plans to tackle these issues, it can be really helpful. The next important thing for beating procrastination is to set clear and manageable goals. Break down larger tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. This makes them seem less intimidating and easier to start. For example, if you need to write an assignment, break it down into research, outlining, drafting, and editing stages. Then for each of those stages, break it down again. When I have an assignment, the outline has all the things that I need to include in it. So first I put all those things as separate headings on separate pages of a document. I do the course modules, filling out the notes under those relevant headings. I do research for each topic separately. I then flesh out each section separately and edit each section separately. Same thing goes for cleaning your house or any part of your home. Cleaning the kitchen gets broken down into a bunch of smaller tasks like this. And that way when it comes to doing it and you feel that sneaky amygdala starting to put the brakes on your body, you can just go, whoa, bitch, I just need to get started on one little thing. Pick a small task, get it done, and that creates a flow-on effect which gets you going. And that brings me to the next part in this, which is use the 2-minute and the 5-minute rule. The 2-minute rule technique suggests that if a task will take 2 minutes or less, do it immediately. This helps build momentum and reduces that feeling of being overwhelmed by small tasks piling up into a bigger job. The 5-minute rule is the technique of just committing to doing 5 minutes of something to get you going. And this usually builds momentum, and most of the time you'll get going. You'll keep going. But if you're not really feeling it for whatever reason, you can stop after 5 minutes and you will have still made progress, which is the main thing. A lot of the problem around procrastination is just getting started. And yeah, you might think, what's the point of only doing 5 minutes? Or what's the point of starting something if you're not going to finish, and get the whole thing done, which I used to have a big problem with. But here's the point. You did something, didn't you? That is better than doing nothing at all. And small steps really do add up to big progress, but doing nothing keeps you stuck. There's this concept, it's called the aggregation of marginal gains, and simply put, what it states is that if you do 1% better at something every single day, then eventually you'll be better at that skill than 90% of other people. So if you're practicing every day to do better with your time management, planning your days, implementing these techniques to combat procrastination, and changing your mindset to focus on just doing smaller tasks and baby steps, eventually, like I did, you'll become so good at kicking procrastination's butt, you'll wonder how you ever struggled with it in the first place. And besides, by making small progress on your tasks in these 2 to 5 minute increments, you'd really be surprised how much difference this can make to your day as opposed to doing nothing with your time at all. Plus, when it comes to cleaning tasks especially, doing something for 2 to 5 minutes every day to keep on top of things is way less time consuming and less stressful than doing it for an hour when it's piled up and it's harder to do. The next tip to defeating the procrastination sinkhole is to create a plan for your day. Develop a detailed plan with time blocks for each small step. Use tools like calendars or project management apps to keep track of your progress. I've got this really great video about this in episode 2, which talks about my smart planning technique that I created, which is creating plans that are sectioned, manageable and attainable, rewarding and time blocked. I'll link it below, and I'll also pop in a link to my website where you can download a free PDF of a basic planner that I created using this technique. And by breaking your tasks down, having a clear list of things that you need to do or want to do throughout the day and putting time frames on them, it helps you stay focused and accountable throughout the day. And it sparks your brain into action more because you're not using up cognitive energy in the moment trying to think about what to do or how to get started with tasks. It's all there. And the next tip is to eliminate distractions. Create a work environment that minimizes interruptions. When you're working to change or implement new habits and skills, the best thing you can do is make the new habit easier to remember to do and the undesired behavior harder to do. Therefore, turn off notifications, set specific times for checking emails, remove your phone from your view for the main part of the day, and just create a dedicated workspace to help maintain your focus. And biggest bonus tip for procrastination extermination is have a master mini task list. I keep a list of mini tasks that only take 5 minutes and that need to be done regularly or on my goal plans, like wipe down benches, sort clothes, mop floor. Yes, I can speed mop my floor within 5 minutes with my spray mop, and if I find myself procrastinating or stuck, I can just look at that list. I can pick something to do that takes less than 5 minutes and it gets me moving. Even if it's something that's not really related to what I need to do in the moment or that day, it just gets me going, which is the main thing. And lastly, and so importantly, you need to practice self-compassion. It's important to be kind to yourself when you slip up. Instead of berating yourself for procrastinating, acknowledge it, learn from it, and get back on track. Self-criticism can often just lead to more avoidance, and it's that guilt screaming at us in the background of our mind while our brains are doing that move, stay, stuck battle thing that it just really makes matters worse. But by understanding how procrastination works and why it happens, it makes it easier for you to be able to be kind to yourself and not beat yourself up about your struggles. Plus, procrastination happens to people way more when they're stressed, anxious, and depressed. And so working on self-care and compassion and mindset shifts is super, super important. So there you have it. Now you know why you procrastinate, how it happens, what's going on in your brain, and some ways that you can combat it, like recognizing the pattern, setting clear and manageable goals, using the 2-minute rule and the 5-minute rule, creating a plan for your day, eliminating distractions, and practicing self-compassion. And if you want to get some extra support with procrastination tactics, such as planning and time management, definitely check out some of my other video episodes, like the one I mentioned before with the smart planning technique, plus episode 1, which is about achieving goals. That would be beneficial. And last week's one as well, episode 5, about creating a work-life balance and managing stress. That one will be also very helpful. Plus, be sure to subscribe on my website to grab that free copy of my basic smart planner. check out my book, 90 Days to Success Mindset Edition, From Survival and Stress to Thriving in Awesomeness, to help reset your mindset, take control of that squishy little mush menace in your head, and take charge of your life so you can bust stress, create calm, and banish procrastination like the mind ninja that you were born to be. And of course, if you enjoyed this episode or any of my content, which of course you have, please help a Halsey out. Hit the like and subscribe button. I know people love pushing buttons, both physically and metaphorically, so go ahead, push the button, okay? It's not only helping to support me and my content and the work that I love to do, but it means it gets this info out to more and more people. And that's why I'm here, to give support and information to those who need it most. Those amazing mindset reset warriors like you, taking action to take control of their lives. And of course, by changing yourself, you help change the world, one healed soul at a time. And that's our purpose. So thanks again for being here, warriors. Peace, love, warm fuzzies, and all that. But most of all, take care of you, because you're worth it and I love you.